Picture this. You're up late, heart racing, as numbers on your screen expose a massive fraud scheme at your company. You report it to your boss expecting praise, but his face hardens and he snaps, "Let it go." Next day, you're fired for restructuring. As you pack your desk, a fire ignites inside. What if, instead of walking away, you gathered evidence, contacted the right people, and triggered an FBI raid that toppled the corrupt operation, leaving your boss facing prison? This is Matthew Shaw's story of corporate betrayal turned into explosive justice that'll have you cheering. If you've ever been betrayed at work, felt the sting of being silenced for doing right, or dreamed of watching a bully boss get what's coming, smash that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping revenge stories. And buckle up. This tale of whistleblower triumph will keep you glued from start to finish. Let's plunge into Denver, Colorado's financial district, where glass skyscrapers gleam under the Rocky Mountain sun, and the air buzzes with the clatter of keyboards and the hum of high-stakes deals. In this world, numbers reign, and trust is as fragile as a misplaced decimal. Our hero, Matthew Shaw, was 28, a quiet junior financial analyst at Westbrook Investment Partners, a mid-sized firm with a glossy reputation for managing wealthy clients. Matthew didn't chase office politics or happy-hour clout. His domain was data. Rows of figures where he hunted patterns others missed. His cubicle, a fortress of neat folders and a single photo of his late grandmother, who raised him after his parents' tragic car accident when he was 12, reflected his focus. She taught him one rule. Trust your gut, Matthew. Numbers don't lie, but people do. Westbrook wasn't glamorous, but it was stable. 3 years earlier, Matthew had moved to Denver, fresh from a master's in financial analysis, using his grandmother's modest inheritance to clear student loans. He worked 60-hour weeks, earning a reputation as reliable, if not flashy. His boss, Curtis Brandt, was his opposite, a slick 40-something with a corner office, golf clubs propped like trophies, and a smirk that oozed arrogance. Curtis had hired Matthew personally, praising his precision. "People miss things," he'd said, leaning back in his leather chair. "I need someone who doesn't." At first, it felt like mentorship, but red flags soon emerged. Certain accounts, like those of the Harley Group, were untouchable, handled only by a select few. Questions about them met vague deflections or silence. The injustice crept in slowly, gnawing at Matthew's conscience like a persistent itch. While auditing the Harley Group files, he spotted discrepancies. Invoices that didn't align, payments, cycling through 3 obscure destinations, vendors with legitimate names but no verifiable existence. His palms grew sweaty, a knot tightening in his stomach as he traced the data. This wasn't a glitch, it was deliberate. Over 6 months, millions funneled through what looked like shell companies. His mind raced. Is this fraud? Am I seeing patterns where none exist? No, the numbers don't lie. Tension spiked when Matthew reported it. That Tuesday, he knocked on Curtis's door, folder clutched tightly, throat dry. "What's up, Shaw?" Curtis said, eyes glued to his screen. "I found something in the Harley accounts," Matthew replied, sliding the folder forward. Curtis flipped through the highlighted pages, his jaw clenching, fingers drumming impatiently. "These clients are too valuable," he said, slamming the folder shut. "Let it go." His gaze was icy, a warning pulsing in the silence. Matthew nodded, understood, but inside his thoughts churned. He knows. He's in on it. Why else the nerves, the shutdown? The betrayal hit the next morning. Heather from HR called, her voice flat. "Restructuring. Your position's eliminated. Nothing personal." Matthew's hands trembled as he packed his desk, the office eerily quiet, colleagues' eyes averted like he was a ghost. The injustice burned. Chest tight, breaths short. He'd poured everything into this job only to be discarded for exposing the truth. But as he boxed his belongings, resolve sparked. He'd already backed up the files to his personal email. A risky move, but his gut screamed, insurance. In his cramped apartment, Denver's city lights flickering outside, Matthew stared at his laptop, the air heavy with anger and doubt. Why me? I was just doing my job. Now I'm unemployable, labeled a troublemaker. Digging deeper, he mapped the fraud in a spreadsheet. Over $4 million laundered. Curtis wasn't just complicit. The patterns hinted at higher-ups, maybe even CEO Jonathan Westbrook. Frustration swelled, memories flashing of ignored warnings. 2 months earlier, Curtis's odd lunch invite, probing his loyalty, testing his silence, now screamed manipulation. Another analyst, Trevor, fired for asking too many questions, hadn't messed up. He'd seen the same rot. Then, there was Jennifer Riley, the no-nonsense compliance officer who'd praised Matthew's precision, handing him her card. Keep looking closely. Her words were a lifeline now. The turning point came during a drive to the park where his grandmother took him as a kid, the scent of pine and grass stirring memories. On a weathered bench, watching joggers and dogs, powerlessness crushed him, shoulders slumping. But her voice echoed. Trust your gut. Resolve hardened like steel. He printed 317 pages, organized with tabs and a summary, calm washing over him. He emailed Jennifer. I found something you should see. Can we meet tomorrow? Her office was stark. Filing cabinets, no windows. I'm no longer employed, Matthew said, placing the envelope on her desk. But someone needs to know. Tell me first, she said, expression unreadable. He explained. The shells, the routes, Curtis's order, the firing. She scanned the documents. You kept copies, against policy, maybe illegal. I know. What do you want? Nothing. Couldn't walk away. She locked the envelope away. I'll investigate, but this could hit you hard. Trouble came fast. A legal letter accused him of theft, breach, defamation, demanding retraction or legal remedies. His phone rang. Curtis, voice slick. Things got out of hand. Drop this, we can reinstate you. What team, Curtis? The one laundering millions? Silence, then. You don't know who you're dealing with. These people. Threat lingered, Matthew's pulse racing. He hired lawyer Elaine Donovan, who warned, precarious but whistleblower protections exist if retaliation's provable. Driving home, a black sedan tailed him. Paranoia or reality? Sleepless, he dug into Harley Group, uncovering a dropped SEC probe, an investigator retiring abruptly. At midnight, Jennifer knocked, tense with a flash drive. You scratched the surface. Multiple clients, protected by Westbrook himself. Why me? Insurance, she said, citing Analyst David Weber's fatal accident after whistleblowing. We go to FBI. No turning back. I'm in, Matthew said, resolve firm. They met Agent Harding, practical and sharp in an unmarked office. For 2 hours, they detailed the fraud, shells, retaliation, connections to a prior case. This corroborates our investigation, Harding said. We'll need testimony. Risks are high, but justice called. Then Jennifer was detained by firm security. Trevor, the fired analyst, found Matthew with more evidence. Recordings, offshore accounts. FBI moved swiftly, securing files, prepping warrants. Hold tight. The climax hits now, with raids, arrests, and justice as Matthew's tormentors face ruin, his triumph erasing years of doubt in one electrifying payoff. The raid struck like lightning. FBI. Swarming Westbrook at 9:02 a.m., doors bursting, employees spilling out, confusion rippling. From Harding's car, Matthew watched, heart pounding as Curtis was escorted to an SUV, face pale, eyes wide with shock and fury. No cuffs, but defeat carved deep. Their gazes locked through windows, Curtis's arrogance shattered, a silent admission of loss. "He flipped first," Harding said. "Cutting a deal. The coward." Indictments crashed. CEO Jonathan Westbrook, CFO, partners charged with fraud, laundering, conspiracy, homes raided, assets frozen. Harley's CEO fled, but his empire crumbled. Curtis got a suspended sentence. Career ruined, reduced to small-town insurance work. Shock swept the firm. Employees whispering, executives led away in disgrace, reputations dust. Matthew's relief surged, chest expanding, breaths deep. The whistleblower reward, millions strong, validated his stand. Triumph was quiet but profound. No more shadows, just light. Justice served cold, burdens lifted in that electric moment. This tale proves karma can whisper through grit, toppling giants without a roar. Justice earned by standing firm reminds us integrity pays, leaving you wondering, when did you last trust your gut against the odds? If this corporate takedown sent chills of satisfaction down your spine, smash that like button and share in the comments. What's your wildest workplace revenge story? Boss drama or juicier? Subscribe with notifications for more Reddit revenges that grip and deliver. Thanks for watching. Sometimes the quietest moves make the loudest impact. See you next time.